My name is Tom Lubben, and I'm pleased to share with you this presentation tonight. This is called The Anatomy of a Novel, and it's the creation of my first novel, Death Among the Pines. This actually took about 25 years of my life before it came down to pen and paper and computer. I'm often asked, how long does it take to write a book? In the case of this book, it's rather different. It is true that in my subsequent books, even though this might have taken 5 or 10 years, the sequels to this novel were done in a matter of months, 3 months or so for each one. Writing is about life experiences, and it's really, truly a matter of experiences combined with imagination. As you can see here, I went through a rather lengthy divorce that involves several separations. My separations led me to the South Jersey Shore area, somewhat south of Atlantic City in the area around Ocean City and Sea Isle, which was adjacent to the Pine Barrens. And I met a friend who became the character Jade in my book, who worked in a tavern off of Route 9 called the Seaville Tavern, whose name was changed in the book. The Pines is truly a mysterious place. I was actually lost in the Pine Barrens once. You will see in this map that the Pine Barrens extend well above Atlantic City and all the way down to Cape May. There are many different areas and parts and also mythology connected. I actually got lost in the pines one night after visiting my friend down there and ended up on a very empty highway and didn't get home till 4 a.m. On another occasion, I was driving down a road and saw a beautiful sculpted eagle that someone had installed over their mailbox. When I retraced my steps 2 hours later, the sculptor was gone. Here in the middle of the pines actually lived a real eagle. Another example that built my experiences in the Pine Barrens was playing golf on this beautiful little golf course, 9-hole course just outside of Atlantic City. By accident, I hit a ball into those trees. And when I walked into the trees to find my ball, I realized that I was standing in the middle of cemetery headstones with dates from the late and mid 1700s. When I finished playing the round of golf, I went and asked the owner of the club what that was about, and he explained it was a Revolutionary War cemetery. So here in South Jersey is a Revolutionary War cemetery just off the Pine Barrens. And the Pine Barrens are filled with many different legends and myths. The Jersey Devil, who you'll see over there to your left. On the other hand, there are incidents like Captain Emilio Carranza, who in 1928 crashed his plane in the middle of the Pine Barrens on a goodwill flight. Also, there's all kinds of mythology about, and this isn't mythology, this is reality, there are actually people living in the Pine Barrens with a sixth finger on one hand. It takes a while for a book to go from pen to paper to computer. Nowadays, I write strictly on the computer. But as you can see on the script to the right, I wrote most of Death Among the Pines by hand. Sometimes just clips of what a chapter would become, and then expanded that on my computer as I worked to finalize the book. Finding a publisher is not an easy task. As noted here, there are over 3,000 publishing companies in the United States. There are over 1,000 literary agents, and you have to reach out to quite a few of them if you're a new author, if you have any hope of being published. The other thing that you're required to do is to write what's called a query letter. And that has to be a one-page letter, no more than 500 words, with all the factors in here that people have told me and other writers that they must include. You have to pitch your credentials, you have to include a story synopsis, a strong hook for the book. You need to show that you know who the agent is. You need to proofread your work. And you write these query letters, and I've written probably close to 100 from my various books over the years, and hope that someone will respond. The response will come slowly. Some companies tell you that if you don't hear from them in 2 months, then you're done. Other companies will notify you pretty quickly that they're not interested. Some will go so far as to ask for a full copy of your work. But finally, in my case, the contract arrived. This was in February of 2021. And again, the copyright materials, information about complimentary copies that I would receive, information about promotion and marketing, my right to buy books at discount, royalty statements, first refusal by the publisher for future works. Contract was 12 pages in length and needs to be read in detail before you commit to that publisher. The waiting period was a full year. It actually went through final editing, book cover development, marketing decisions. And while I received notification on February 11th of 2021, the actual book was not published until February 28th of 2022. Then I began to get on the road to market the book. I had my first major book sale in Stockton, New Jersey in March of 2022, right in the middle of the Pine Barrens, which is a good place to pitch my book. Since then, I've been to over 15 different exhibits, craft shows, book fairs. It is expected that the author himself or herself will do a lot of the marketing. This is the blurb for the book itself. B.J. Gleason sitting on a South Jersey bar with his new girlfriend, and an old woman tottered in and sat down next to them. Crying and mumbling, she opened a small box to show a bloodied severed finger. "It's my daughter," she sobs. Follow Gleason, a divorced family man, washed up baseball player, turned teacher, that's kind of me, an amateur detective, which I'm not, as this event catapults him into a labyrinth of bizarre murders. which could be historical, gang related, or cult based. In the middle of the cold winter, in the New Jersey Pine Barrens at the turn of the 21st century, watch as this complex and troubled man uses his skills and talents to point towards the solution of several vicious and mysterious murders that have all occurred between the dawning of the new millennium and Easter of 2000. This blurb was done in combination with myself and the publishers, and it appears on every piece of promotional material that is made available. And again, the events continue. I basically respond to a variety of groups. Most recently, I spoke to a Rotary Club in the Lehigh Valley. I have several more events on schedule between now and the rest of the year. What comes next? I have to tell you a little story about me. My hero is a guy named Caleb, who you may have read about in the Bible. When he was 40, he was sent out to scout to find the promised land. 45 years later, Moses was dead, Joshua was in charge and needed help. Caleb came forward at the age of 85 and said, "Use me." So as I sit here at 80 plus, it's my hope that God isn't finished with me yet, and I will be continuing to write. As I've noted before, I have 3 sequels that are ready for publication now that all carry my same protagonist. The last slide that I have here is a way that you can contact me if you'd like. And I indeed thank you for watching tonight. And if you have any questions, be sure to let me know. Thank you for listening.